Bakit ngayon lang natin ni-roll out yan?
Actually, Mr. Chair, it is quite sad nga eh. Yan yung original mandato ng Food Terminal Incorporated, which was established in the 1970s by Marcos Sr., President Marcos Sr. At since 1986 ay ginawang real estate nila at pinagbebenta nga eh. Yung concept na yon ang nire-revive natin and well, wala pa ho akong 2 taon sa DA and nakita ko na kailangan yun. Kaya nga ang target namin is to start construction by January 2026, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, gusto ko sana tututukan natin to kasi napakaganda na ito, no? Yung sa swamp natin plus ito, sana matuloy to. Parang kadiwa ito noon eh, no? Na ni the late President Ferdinand Marcos, naalala ko nung bata ako, nag-enjoy kami niya kasi talagang mura siya. So magtuloy-tuloy yan. Pero kung wala tayong initiative, no? I hope under your helm, Secretary, sana magtuloy-tuloy ito. No, anyway, marami pa namang hearings dito na gagawin. Sana meron kayo laging report when it comes to these 2 projects. For me, it's very vital to our survival. Itong swamp na sinasabi nyo, yung marshland at saka itong hub natin. And then probably my last question, no? We'll shift to focus on the experience of our supposed beneficiaries farmers continues that DA's loan programs are nearly impossible to access. Totoo ba ito?
Yung sa loan program natin, Mr. Chair, yes, I would have to say na nung original na pagdating ko dito ay medyo hard to access. But I have modified the policies and rules. No? Marami namin tinanggal na requirement. Pinadali namin yung sistema. But still, of course, there's several steps na gagawa. No? Nakita namin na may resistance. Yung ibang associations or co-ops dito sa aming loan program, katulad ng Agrisenso, saka Agri-Puhunan at Pangtawid. Ang problema, minsan hinaharang ng mga currently nagpapautang ng 5-6 sa mga farmers natin. Doon ang resistance.
Kasi Mr. Chair, dyan sila nababaon, wala silang choice, no? So sana meron kayo on the ground na talagang mismong nagpapautang kayo dapat. Kasi nakikita ko some of my friends, no, lalo mga classmate ko from the province, talagang nakikita ko na halos yung kinikita nila, pag-ani nila, eksakto lang pambayad nila sa mga utang nila. Matitira lang nila, pangkain lang daw nila, papagiling nila, yun na lang daw ang kita nila. So with the help of DA sana mairating natin on the ground. So paano natin gagawin ito? How can we do it?
2 bagay yan, Mr. Chair. No? One thing that we are developing and soon to launch is yung ating expanded agricultural crop insurance. Kasi pag meron na tayong crop insurance na maganda na kayang i-cover yung actual na in-invest, di ba? At may basically capital protection ang ating mga farmers, mas madali na rin sila makautang diretso sa bangko. So isa yun sa ating ginagawa at meron tayong programa with the World Bank and the local insurance companies, the private sector with our agricultural credit ACPC namin, PCIC pala. So yung tatlong grupo na yan, World Bank assisting and everything, then magkakaroon ng agricultural insurance pool na yung pera manggagaling sa World Bank partly grant, partly loan, tas yung mga local insurer naman maglalagay din ng pera sa pool as well as the government para lumaki yung coverage na instead of 20,000 per hectare lang doon sa mga gustong mag-apply ng mag-insure, magiging at least 60,000 or depende sa commodity. Kasama rin dito yung livestock. Kasi once a crop or a farmer or farm is insured, technically mas bankable na sila Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. That will be it. So I support the budget po ng DA kasi napaka-importante po. To be honest with you, to all the department, all the DA, education, and of course, Department of Health talaga naman nakasuporta ako. So, again, Mr. Chair, no, I won't go for second round. Siguro sa plenary lang ako magtatanong pa being part of the minority. Thank you very much to DA family and congratulations. Sana madagdagan ng inyong budget.
Thank you very much. So now we go to Representative Nathaniel Oducado from the majority.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to the good secretary and the hardworking staff of the Department of Agriculture. Sec Kiko is one of our idols po in the industry. Also, thank you, Engineer Gillian and the whole NIA family. My first question will be addressed to the DA po. I saw po kasi a 2018 study by the FAO na the Philippines is number 4 when it comes to seaweed production at 4.4% behind China, Indonesia, and South Korea. May I know po ano yung status when it comes to this industry and ano po yung programs or plans natin from the DA on this po?
Mr. Chair, basically, ang natatandaan ko is halos nagpalagay ako ng 1 billion for 2025, no? Which ang na-approve is 924 million. And for 2026 is 728.5 million ang aking proposed sa NEP. So, napaka-importante na masuportahan natin yung seaweed industry kasi pag nabigyan sila ng farming not equipment, yung mga lubid at floats, at mabigyan sila ng propagule or seeds na tinatawag nila, in every 45 days, 40 to 45 days, may income na sila eh. So, doon gagamitin yung pera at mag-expand. Dati tayo number 1 sa seaweed, ngayon medyo number 2 or 3 tayo. And ang intention natin is maging number 1 ulit tayo sa mundo, which is very, very possible. And I strongly feel na by 2028, pwede ulit tayo maging number 1 sa mundo. Besides that, we're also applying technology. No? This is the first time in the seaweed industry na ang gobyerno ay bumili ng bioreactors. No, these bioreactors na binili natin, meron isa ngayon, may pinabid out na ng mga 4 pa yata. Pag dumating yan, we can increase our seed production by 100 times. So we can give more. So we want to expand seaweed in Palawan, of course, Tawi-Tawi, Barm area, Bicol, Bohol, and everything. No? Marami tayong mga seaweed facilities dito na underutilized, 63% ng utilization. So we don't need to invest in more factories. We need just more raw material. So nandun ho tayo. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Sec. Nakita ko po kasi personally kung ano yung effect ng seaweed industry sa lugar namin po, sa Capiz and sa Mindanao. Pag off-season po kasi ng fishing, naghahanap ng ibang pagkakitaya ng mga fisher folk po. May I also know if meron po tayong some sort of assistance, especially during off-season sa mga fisher folk natin. Meron ba tayong pang scholarship sa students? May konting tulong po ba sa kanila?
I would defer to our Bureau of Fisheries na may yung detalye. Alam ko meron, but yung detalye lang mas alam nila, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, Secretary. We have a fisheries scholarship po every. We have 2 kinds of fisheries scholarship. The one that we are giving to our beneficiaries of our child of our fisher folk, and then second po is those who are interested po claiming undergoing for the fisheries scholarship po of our regions po. Every regions there is I think 2 or 3 scholarship that we that is being availed po by our by the students po. And then for the off season po, if there's a po, for example, if there's a close fishing season, we provided po just like po with the seaweeds po kanina, with the shellfish, yun po yung binibigay po natin, and other post-harvest activities po or trainings po for our fisher folk that is affected by by the closed fishing season po, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Chair, if the delegate knows po, may we know how much budget po ang meron sa ganitong program? And at the same time, I'm very interested po, especially sa shellfish, lalo sa oysters and tahong po, if anong facilities ang in-offer natin?
For this year, Mr. Chair, we allotted po 50 million for shellfish and then 50 million po for seaweeds for those affected po by this closed fishing season, Mr. Chair.
And in terms of projection po, is it enough po ba to help our fisher folks po?
Actually po, the funding that we allotted for this closed fishing season is not enough, Mr. Chair. But we have some augmentation as to the activities pertaining to the post-harvest facilities or activities po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for that. I'll get the records po para I'll be able to help po the department on this aspect.
Yes, we will send a report to you, sir, Mr. Chair.
Opo. On the same on the same topic about fisheries po. Nag-decrease po in terms of operators po ng fishing because of pagkamahal ng gasolina. May we know po if may plano ang before on this aspect po kasi around 50 to 60% po ang fuel cost when it comes to fisher folks po.
As far as those who are affected po yung because of this high fuel price po, we given po fuel subsidy to our municipal fisher folk po. Last year po we allotted 400 million pesos, and then this year po is about 80 million, but on next year po, sir, Mr. Chair, there's no funding that we allotted for fuel subsidy. And then aside from those aside from this po, we are given po yung yung nating 62-footer fishing boats po. That is intended po to award the those organized fisher folk through cooperatives or organization, that instead of giving them the small boats, we are giving them the large boat po, which is the 62-footer that can sail up to 10.1 kilometers and beyond po, Mr. Chair.
Thank you for that. I-raise ko lang po yung concern ko sa before then kasi a few weeks after the elections po, sumabay po ako sa mga fisher folks namin sa Capiz. Tapos ang nasamahan ko po yung mga squid fisher folks po. So habang nag-harvest kami, nakita ko po may trolling within the 15 kilometer radius po. So can I ask po how much ang budget for enforcement and ano po ang magiging steps natin to prevent this from happening po?
For the enforcement, I think, Mr. Chair, it's around 400 million for regulatory, and it covers po our patrol boats that will be patrol all the areas. And then we have 14 units, 30-meter vessels, and 4 units, 11-meter. And aside from that, we have also 2 units, 50-meter vessels, and 1 unit 60-meter. They are deployed to different areas to patrol the areas po. I think we deploy one vessel per region po, Mr. Chair. But I think we have there's no sufficient enough number of vessels that we're going to patrol, considering po that we have also Benham Rice and of course the West Philippine Sea to patrol, Mr. Chair.
Yung sa Capiz po na patrol boat, may we know saan siya nakadock po currently?
They are sharing po with Region 7 po, with the MCS. MCS 30-meter po siya. But aside from that, Mr. Chair, we have also, I think, provided our regional offices with the patrol boats with the small ones. I think it's 24-meter boat that it is intended to patrol within the municipal waters of those regions that is covered by the regional offices po.
I'd
Mr.
like to
Chair.
coordinate this matter on your bureau po. Thank you po.
Yes,
Last
Mr. Chair.
set po, Mr. Chair. With the PCA po, nakita ko po kasi nung 2023, if I remember correctly, na $2.3 billion ang ating exports and around 43% siya ng ating total exports from the Philippines. But there is a steep decline after po noon. May we know po ano yung problem doon and may we know how we can help on our end.
Okay, for 2024, it went up to 2.9 billion, and still the problem is productivity. When we say productivity, na-explain ko kanina regarding senile and other concerns.
Nasa Copra trading po kasi ako before, kaya I'm happy with the prices, but the problem is the supply po. Especially ngayon po, yung dating pang isang truck mo, yung presyo niya pang dalawa na ngayon.
Yes.